I got that California.
What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to episode number 6 of our Pokemon Profile series, a guide to competitive Pokemon in just 5 minutes or less. In this series, I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at the Pokemon we're covering in just 5 minutes. So if you guys enjoyed the series, make sure to leave a like, and of course subscribe to the channel, and check the description for my Twitter and Discord server links. And without further ado, let's start the timer. Today we're covering Darkrai. And before we do get started, I do want to give a huge thank you to the person who suggested this video, and that is TKO. TKO has been a member of the Ocean for a long time. He is also one of the members of my front office, and he actually came to me a long time ago, actually before I took the break for this the first time, and he suggested I do Darkrai, and I really want to bring it up because Darkrai is an amazing Pokemon, and of course I am drafting it. I have used it in the ICBA, and it's just so freaking good. Anyways, let's get started and let's take a look at its stats. So Darkrai's stats overall, it is a freaking legendary Pokemon. It's got 70 HP, which is it's fine, it's good enough, I'll give it that, but it's got 90 in its attack, defense, and special defense. And while that may not be average or above average, it does get the job done in a pretty good way that you can live some hits. Now obviously with your 70 HP, you're not going to be taking too many hits, but it makes so Darkrai can really be formidable. It's got access to 135 special attack and 125 speed, and basically it's almost like a glass cannon to some people, and because of that it's been given the moniker of Special Weavile. Obviously that's not a bad thing because Darkrai is an amazing revenge killer, it's an amazing wall breaker, and having access to the ridiculous coverage options that it does get is just crazy. So starting off, I will go over its special coverage because its special coverage is just crazy. You have access to ice coverage and electric coverage in moves like Ice Beam, Blizzard, Thunderbolt, Charge Beam, whatever it is. You also have your Stab move that you're going to be clicking more times than not, and that is Dark Pulse. You also have Focus Blast to deal with those dark types that do want to come in and take those potential dark type moves. You have access to Psychic, which is very nice for potential fighting types. Obviously, that's really good to have. Shadow Ball is just nice to have just in case. You never know what the situation could be. Maybe you're going up against a Fairy type, or maybe like a Fairy Psychic type, and you don't want to run something like Sludge Bomb because it's not the best idea. You do have access to Shadow Ball. You do have Sludge Bomb, like I did mention before. And of course, you have the coolest move out there, well, two of them. You have Roar of Time and Spatial Rend. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. You have Roar of Time, Spatial Rend. That's really cool. In terms of potential doubles, you do have access to Snarl though, which is really nice to have as well. Obviously, I don't really play doubles, so I'll leave it at that. But anyways, looking at the rest of its moves, you do have access to a couple really cool, unique moves. You have access to Hypnosis and Dark Void. Obviously, Hypnosis is the better move now that Dark Void was nerfed. Dark Void actually only has 50% accuracy, and instead of 60 like the Hypnosis does. Now, obviously, the best time to use Dark Void over something like Hypnosis would be if your opponent has a Ditto or a Mew that transforms, and that's because obviously they can't use the Dark Void. But the coolest thing about that is that you can run potential Z Hypnosis, which will boost your speed by one stage, put the opponent to sleep if it lands, and then you can set up a Nasty Plot, and then at +1 and +2, do tell me what's switching in and taking that hit. Like, it's very, very little. Anyways, moving on though, it does have access to, like I said before, Nasty Plot, but you do get Calm Mind as well. And if you pair that with Leftovers, you will be able to take some hits and of course be able to set up for free. And a sub Calm Mind Darkrai could be really, really useful. Anyways, looking at the rest of his moves, you do get priority in Sucker Punch and in Quick Attack, which is nice. And of course, you are a very, very fast taunt user. And I would love to see what this thing can do in terms of physical offense because you do actually get Swords Dance. Now, obviously, it's not the greatest move in the world, it's not the greatest option in the world because your options for physical moves aren't the best, so I'll leave it at that. But anyways, let's take a look at what it can do as a team supported Pokemon. So, it's an amazing wall breaker. It just is freaking incredible. Like, 135 special attack, guys, is phenomenal. And then, of course, you have pretty much perfect coverage. I don't know what I would give this thing to deal with other Pokemon. What is Dark weak against? Dark is weak against Fighting, you have Psychic. Dark is weak against Fairy, you have Sludge Bomb. Dark is weak against Bug. Well, okay, there you got me there, but they don't want to take a Dark Pulse from a Darkrai, trust me. Overall, Darkrai has a ton of good things going for it, and honestly, if you have a chance to draft it in an Uber's League, then it is probably one of the best Pokemon out there. I had the 4th pick in the draft, I believe, and I wanted this thing ahead of something like Mega Blaziken. This thing is so good, it is incredible, and obviously I would suggest it to anyone who wanted to pick it up. What would I pair this thing with? I would definitely try and pair it with something that wants to take Fairy type moves, Fighting type moves, and Bug type moves. So what takes all of those? Poison types. If you could pair this thing with a really good poison type, something like maybe, I don't know, a Nidoqueen, that's a pretty damn good offensive pairing and defensive pairing too. I would also pair this thing with something that can set up spikes. Of course, spikes are very important. If you can really chip down your opponent with spikes and stealth rocks and even stick you up as well, hazard support users are really nice to have with Darkrai. Now, obviously, you do need to have other Pokemon to help break down your opponent's team. So if you can pair this thing with a really good Fizzly offensive Pokemon and another really good specially offensive Pokemon, then this thing is going to be able to rip through your opponent late in the game. Now, where would I draft this thing? Like I said before, I picked this thing 4th overall in a league with tons of Ubers ahead of something like Mega Blaziken. If we're looking at the ICBA tiers, which is the league that I drafted it in, I would definitely say that it is one of the best Pokemon there. To me, it's better than Battle Ball Greninja, it's better than Protean Greninja, and I can't really see why people would think it isn't, just because of the amazing coverage options that it does get, the speed options that it has, and of course, the ability to just wear down your opponent with Hypnosis, and of course, the ability to have Bad Dreams, which I didn't really touch on because it's not that important. Darkrai is definitely a beginning of the round 1 type Pokemon, for sure, if it's being drafted in Uber's League. Obviously, if you have something like Reshiram and Kyurem White and Mewtwo, then I don't think it's round 1, it's a bit like further down, but if Darkrai is like in the ICBA tiers, then it would definitely be round 1 for sure. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this Pokemon profile on Darkrai. If you did, make sure to smash the like button, and of course subscribe to the channel guys. We're doing a ton of really good stuff here, and I hope you enjoy the content. Anyways, I want to give a huge thank you to Roshan once again. He is the guy who created the graphics work for us. He's an awesome guy. His Twitter is in the description, so if you need work done, go and check him out. I highly recommend him. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on Darkrai in the comment section below, and let me know which Pokemon you want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.